What's going on, guys? Matt of Box Trick here, back with another video, and today I want to talk about one of my favorite games of all time, and that is Dark Cloud for the PS2. Now, unfortunately, this is not my original copy because somehow I lost it over time, which is unfortunate, but nonetheless, I still have this copy. And it also recently came out on the PlayStation 4 in like a digital version, upscaled, and that's a great version as well to pick up. So, first, I guess I'll tell a little story about this game and why I like it so much. So, the first game I got for my PlayStation 2 was Dark Cloud. My brother was moving to China to like teach ESL for a bit, and he gave me his PlayStation 2 Dark Cloud. So Dark Cloud was the first game I played on PS2. So the graphical jump from PS1 to PS2, pretty big. And the game is just so great, and it was really like it was an RPG that I'd never had played something like that before. So one of the things that makes this game great is, I guess it's kind of big thing, is instead of leveling up your characters, now your character stats do increase when you can find items that will increase your stats, but the big thing is weapon crafting. So as you go through the game, every character, there's 6 characters, they all have different weapons, and you essentially build weapons. So the main character, his name's Tone, he has he uses daggers and swords, and so essentially you build up your weapon, and that weapon also can break, so you have to worry about that. You're constantly managing its HP, but you can put in little things like to give it more ice power or fire or wind, or make it stronger against specific types of monsters like dragons or statues or things like that. And so that's really what makes the game great. That's really where it like drives you to play, because as you build up your weapons, you can build them into different, more stronger weapons. And you can also build up other weapons and break those down and put them into your weapons or another character's weapons. And so it's constantly this like instant gratification of like building a new weapon and constantly wanting to go through that. So that's like the game's probably drawing point. The other thing is the game's also in a way like part SimCity. So the story is a dark genie is unleashed onto the world by this guy who looks like Hitler, and essentially he destroys all of the Earth except for a young teenage boy, just like any RPG, who has to go through dungeons, which are randomly generated, by the way, which is really cool. So every time you go into a dungeon, the layout is completely different. So you go into these dungeons and you find this thing's called Atomilia, which is little pieces of the world. So you have to then rebuild the world. You go and you find all these little pieces, you put them together, and then you rebuild the world. So that's another big thing that really draws you into the game. The game has a great soundtrack. I'm a big fan of it. And it's just, it's a lot of fun. I don't really know what else to say about it. You could probably beat it in roughly 20 hours if you raced through it. But it's a long game. The game also uses QTE events. It was one of the early game that uses that in a couple of things. Now I will say the story kind of lacks a little bit. They introduce some characters that you see at the beginning and they're kind of a big deal, and then you literally don't see them until the end of the game, and you're supposed to act as if it's a big deal to see them again. So that is kind of the game's one downfall, I'll say. But you can get the game now, so as part of that, bringing PS2 games to PS4, so you can get it now digitally, and it looks great. It's upscaled to 1080p. It's still a PS2 game, so it's still gonna play and look like a PS2 game, but it looks good, and is just one of my favorite. It's definitely without question in my top 10 games of all time, and you absolutely should check it out.